Please welcome Professor Teoh Chee Keong. He is the assistant professor and head of school at the School of Architecture and Built Environment. And also Doris Quek. She is the curator, educator, and cultural workers. They are from Malaysia, UCSI universities. So please welcome them.
Thank you, Professor Natakun, for the introductions. Thanks for having us together, myself, Teoh Chee Keong, the lecturers and also the head of school at the School of Architecture and Built Environment at UCSI University. Together with me, Doris Quek is our lecturers. We both actively participated in a lot of community engagement while teaching at the university. We would consider ourselves also as a social activist that we often appears and participating in a lot of events that perhaps from time to time in Kuala Lumpur and other cities that normally would have a lot of urban issues. This is actually part of the learning process. I'm really happy and excited to be here and to be able to learn a lot from like-minded people, especially I think in terms of the methods, how we approach and how we do things, and also to reflect ourselves whether we are doing the right things. So without further ado, I would like to share with all the audience about the experiences that we have gone through from the point of being a lecturers at a university as well as active member in the community. We'll be able to we are able to blend the practices together, as what you can see that eventually that we manage to change the perceptions of the student, how they see studying at a university, being a passive learner sitting in the classroom and learning something from the lecturer, but instead they themselves also see themselves as a creative member of the society, or maybe we'll just talk about community. So the title of this today's sharing is Creativity Without Borders. Borders is actually, we could see it as perhaps as a physical, like fences, the physical things that stop us from reaching out, or for stopping people from reaching in. So since 2009, I think I joined the university at 2006, been running a couple of years of design studios, but then we found out that there are some issues that oftentimes that towards the end of the semester, the student will be busy putting up the exhibition, the shows, and hopefully that to reach out to the audience, so-called the community members, to highlight at least creative work from the students. And oftentimes the studios projects are somehow reflecting the actual issues that is facing by the society. But what we realize is that oftentimes the exhibition end up, the visitors are basically architectural students or maybe the lecturers from other universities. We seldom get a chance to meet the actual community member. So then we got a discussion and a debate at the school. At the time, we run a few one-day workshop together with all the lecturers, and then we decided to come up with a special approach that from there on we started to embed the community engagement in our especially higher semesters studios, so that we try to reach out to the community and turning all these community projects into our studios projects. So which mean that the studios projects eventually become a real-life projects that the student will get a chance to meet the actual user, or even to see them as a client of their projects. Yeah. So the objective of this approach is to encourage a close engagement between the students and the broader community, so that also to take them away from their usual environment. As you know that UCSI University is located at the suburb area of Kuala Lumpur. I would say that the surroundings, nothing much we can offer to the student in terms of the sense of place and the learning and the excitement that they could get from the surrounding activities. So I think that would be good, that if we could reach out to community, not from the capital city, but maybe even with the teaching, and also we could conduct some sightseeing, or even we could have some class activities in other cities. So that was the idea, that we begin to brought the student out from their usual study environment. And the intention is also to get the inspiration and also to pursue the other avenue of creative practice in the field of architecture. As we know that once the student get a chance to really visit the place, then they will get more inspiration instead of looking at the slides and photos that shared by the lecturers. And also to understand, to let the student understand the broad concept of client. So oftentimes in the studio, if they wouldn't be able to talk to the people, they would just assume what is facing by the people, or perhaps getting the ideas through some case studies. To meet the actual people or to meet the community would definitely help for the student to get a better idea. And lastly, to be able to work individually, and this one definitely when it is a community projects or maybe community driven studios projects, that the student will have to work together, because there will still be a lot of works to do before they be able to engage. So at this diagram clearly shows that this is basically a pedagogy that adopted by most of the we'll say courses, not just architecture, but a lot of the faculties also running the similar ideas, that perhaps the lecturer would be the agents who have garnered experiences from the real life experience, and then they will share with the student within the university environment. So the students are basically the protected bunch of people sitting in the classroom and learning the experience that's shared by the lecturers. So there is a huge gap between the academics and the actual issues that the people are facing outside the campus. So then we get to have this diagram that we try to wipe off the borders or the boundary of the university, that instead of working on a simulation or perhaps a virtual projects, we begin to talk to our partner in the society, including NGOs, NPOs, association, corporates, even government agency, to see whether there's an opportunity for us to work together with them and to turn some of their potential projects into our studios projects. So then the lecturer would be the agents to liaise with the people. Every lecturers in our school are the community licensed people or corporate licensed people. So we'll be able to get the ideas from the community and turn it into a studio project. So then we begin to team up. So this model also clearly shows that eventually we would have a university that being the platform of the actual society or the community. So we are the part of the community instead of we as a university reaching out and work along way with the other people. Yeah. So the ideas is I would say a bit different from what we have experienced and in the past, and we try to see things in a different way. So in order to do that, at the beginning, we done some studies basically through some observation to understand that who are the actual key person or key players in the industry and the community. And then once we're getting to know the people and we try to engage with them through some, let's say, for example, invite them for some talks or even visit their places. And once we get to know the people and we really understand that who are the active and influential people in the community and that society, and that gives us a chance to really work closely with these people. And the best way is to appoint them as our part-time lecturers or adjunct lecturers, visiting fellows, or even full-time lecturers. So we are lucky after a few years of exploration, then we are able to get in very active lecturers who used to be the activists in the society and teaching at the university, and therefore we have this successful plan of a strategic partnership pairing with all the organizations and reach out and reach in strategy. Yeah, so this is the actual connection of our people. We could see that there are some staff being the enabler to help to connect with the community and the society. So in terms of the geographical borders, that as I mentioned, that we no longer just run the projects close to the university, and we try to reach out to more communities, and actually through the helps of the people that we know, and we are able to within the short periods of time, be able to reach out to the representative or the key person in every community. So this is a map of the project that actual live project. It's just a few live projects that I show here. The red colors means that we successfully implemented from design stage all the way to the construction, to construct the building with the community. So I will showcase a few for all to understand what we have gone through in the past. So first I will showcase, this is Kuala Sepetang, which is a fishing village located at the northern part of the peninsula of Malaya. So the distance is about 3 hours driving this, or 3.5 hours driving distance from the city. And we have got to know, actually, this is my hometown. I would say this is a funny story that I often tell people. The reason why I choose Kuala Sepetang is that because it's located at my hometown, I get a chance to visit my parents. So since 2009, I was appointed as the adjunct lecturer at CYCU Taiwan, for international program. So I brought students. From time to time, we brought students together with UCSI students as well to visit the places, and then we got a chance to know the people better through all these academic activities, and we begin to know the actual issues and the problem facing by the people. From the point of a designer, we then immediately know that we could do something to improve the condition of the issues. Yeah, so these are some photos of the visit, and we did cultural mapping. And this is an informal fishing village, so meaning that they are not recorded in the government's land title. So we have to survey and map up the entire settlements by satellite, with the help of satellite image, and also we walk the whole village and to capture the actual condition of the site. And with this base map, actually, this is the first time the villager able to see what is actually happening in their own settlement. So with the help of the mapping and the drawing, then we begin to conduct community workshops and to invite the community member to discuss of various issues, and also conduct a workshop together with the school children, so that the children will draw interesting drawing to show people that this is my house, there to understand their understand their understanding of their own place. Yeah, so these are the community engagement session that we have public forum with the people to understand and to let them understand what is the intention from a university point of view, that what we could do together with the community. So then we conduct a series of study, including the waste management issues that the fishing village are often filled with a lot of rubbish. And also we let our students join the fishermen's, it's not internships, but it's during the semester break. Some of our very active students, then they help the fishermen, they work with them for about 2 weeks and daily in and out, so that they got to know how the ecosystem of the place, and they captured it with drawings as well as boat making, So these are the really precious experience that we gained from. And eventually we gained the trust of the people. So in 2015, we started to rent a place with the help of the local representative to rent a house. And then we turned it into our off-campus teaching facilities. So as you could see that we conduct classes and inviting community or maybe active researcher at the place to share with the student about the story. But as you can see that the house is rather run down, and also it's quite hot. We don't have aircon, and it's quite humid and smelly as well. So after running a year of programs at the place, then we discussed with the owners of the house, and the owner has moved out from the place about 6 years. Then he said that, why not we do some changes to the houses so that you will find it more suitable for what you expected as a teaching facilities. Then we turn it into an experiencing architecture. This incorporated into a special module called experiencing architecture module. Usually we will have students I would say it's architectural trips to overseas, but we often have a group of students who claim that they couldn't afford to travel. So then we create this local learning experience. But I told the student that it has to be an intensive workshops, because you are not traveling. So in return that you will do something for the community instead. So we did measure drawing and also come with the design. This is a 13 weeks project. Then after this, we brought the models and the drawings back to the community, and we showcase it to the owners of the house, as well as the community member. At night, we brought it to the temple and showcased to more people, and the children are very happy about the models. So then after another semester come in, then we put it into Design Studio 4. It's a small project, it's not a final project, so we just wanted the student to participate in this construction phase. So we get some sponsorship from the local representative as well as the local community. Then we begin a plan to renovate the house. Of this workshop, we have 30 students joining from CYCU and also 30 students joining from UCSI. So altogether, we have 60 free labels, yeah, for the projects. And we learn the skills and the construction skills from the villager as well. And a lot of them were once construction workers in Singapore, because this is a small fishing village. A lot of young people, they fled to Singapore for a better fortune, but end up some of them, they decided to come back to their hometown. So these are very skillful people, and they were my teaching assistant to help the student, to make sure that the structure is safe. And after 3 weeks, we managed to convert the house into a communal space. And after that, we run a lot of community events, also recycling programs, storytelling, engaging the children as well as the adults. Yeah, and the upstairs turns into a homestay and with a playscape, so that the children are happy with this result. The next project is the market in Taiping. So we did a measure drawing practice in the market, and then we conducted an exhibition and also the heritage walk. After that, we got a friends who owns a shop house, and then we just borrow for a day exhibition. Then we reach out to the community member. After this, it triggered the curiosity of the local authority. Then they reach out to the university and found me and asked me to help them to conduct a dilapidation survey. So during the practice of the dilapidation survey, we also incorporated this Bernadette Pasar. Instead of running the drawing class in the studio, we brought the student to this city, and they actually did their drafting class in the market. So through this practice, we actually expose ourselves to the community members, so they get to know what is architecture about and what the students are usually doing. So at the end of the studios, then we exhibit the students' drawing, and it's actually very with very little budgets that we help all these activities together. So also we incorporate some.
For you, sorry. Yeah, there are 3 minutes left for you.
Oh, sorry, I've taken out a lot of time, maybe a couple of minutes. Yeah, sorry. So I would like to focus one of these are some projects, maybe let me just fast forward it. So let's say these are basically the portfolio before we run the final projects that we would like to highlight. So after gaining a lot of experience, then we decided to turn this into a student's, rather than a module or the courses. Then we form a student club to help the school to coordinate or to conduct the activities. I will pass to my colleagues, Doris, to talk about collab.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Teoh. So yes, so we founded Collab on the year 2020, the first year of pandemic. And I think during that time, why we founded this is that we are forced to actually start a platform because our student and alumni gotten 2 grants for a community project. So from there, we set ourselves as architectural research and fabrication lab for innovative solution for life building projects. Next. Yeah, so for our collab projects, we look into the collaboration with community that is more on a project basis, that we co-organize these life building projects. So the first that is that we start this project, and then life building projects that is then we share all the resources, including from the design to executions to the build, together with the community, so that the community will be part of the team and the team will be part of a community. So this is the 2 projects. On different communities, there will be a different timeline, but so we then try to line it up towards our course. Yes. So on our formal courses, we have a specific timeline, which is like normally it's on January to May, and then another is July to November. During our formal courses, then we have like sort of design studios, furniture workshop, community architecture, or any other minors, material fabrication. And during our off-term time, then we have some minor courses that is more on experiencing architecture. Or so in that time, then we sort of introduce the informal activities on the live building. So when we line up our process from client brief, design proposal, workshop, that is during a term time, off-term time, and the windows of fundraising, project management that then handled together with alumni and the students during the term time, which is with a less meeting time. And then we focus on our build on November and December, which is a fabrication and workshop. So on the community side, there will be a certain timeline that they will be coming with us on the on-site construction. But during this time, we then segregate the different type of progress, and then also different team that handle different parts of the process, and that then we minimize the amount of the students that have to meet up during the pandemic time.
Okay, could you please summarize, because we have
Okay. All right. So this is the last part of the sharing. So due to the the issues of the timing, and oftentimes when you want to engage with the community, and if it is incorporated into the teaching, there will be a limit of time. So in order to make it easier, so we come up with the ideas that we design the modular system so that we could be base unit for every community projects that we're going to participate in. So this is a samples of the slot bench that we designed, and this slot bench is a and the workshop. Then it's a compulsory activities for year 1 students, so that every student learn to build, and this modular system could further expanded, and put into different uses. So that, as for example, you could turn into tables, and you could also turn into partition wall. Yeah, so I would fast forward it. So these are some samples of the modular system. So it's easier for us to conduct community activities with the help of this modular system. Yeah, so there are some other courses also supporting the things. Right. So lastly, we share projects that happened in 2020 during the pandemic, that we hand built a community library from the bench to architecture. So as I mentioned, that during the pandemic, during the lockdown, we couldn't do anything, but there are some windows of time open during the lockdown, so that our students are able to return back to the labs. So we fabricated the components slowly, then eventually we built it at the community together with the community member within 8 days. Yeah, so this is the last project that I'm showing. Is located at the suburb area of Kuala Lumpur. So there are elderlies who are active in the community garden, but their issue is that they will have to take care of their grandchildren at the same time. So after discuss with them, they propose that they would like to have a communal space for the young children. So while they are doing their gardening works, that at least that they can look after their grandchildren as well. So this is the okay. So these are basically the design. The construction took about the fabrication took about 1.5 months, and the actual construction on site was only 8 days. Yeah, so this was due to the pandemic, so we have to shorten the periods of time visiting the community. But throughout the community, I think these projects, we have a lot of engagement via online, and also we from time to time we visit the community member and discuss with them about the ideas and the design. Yeah. Okay. So at final, I will show a video. Due to the time limit, I think I will fast forward the video to the end, so at least that you could have a look at the final products here. So this is how it turns out at the end. All right, so before I end the sharing, I would like to also share a bit of thinking about the projects. Basically, on the project that we have done so far, I think what we learned from the community is that the ideas of adaptability and also the new vernacularism, that is something that we will learn from the community. Instead of top-down decision in terms of the design, we would need to share and learn together with the community to achieve this. And the community project, the design that we make it into an open-ended design strategy that we allow them to change from time to time. And because of this community member, they can still reach out to us if they need any further improvement, and we are happy to join together again for the coming studios. So also these projects are all, hopefully that we could create a place that is open for all and is architecture for all, to reach out to wider range of the demographic. And also to see ourselves as the members of the community instead of we ourselves doing the charity projects to help the community. And finally, these are some challenges as I can see also happening at the other institution, that time consuming and a lot of uncertainty, and it's quite challenging as well in terms of the open-ended design, and also oftentimes that we cannot guarantee that we will get same batch of the good qualities of students. So that is about the quality, the consistency of the quality works. And also real projects come with the real stress that is imposed to the lecturer and the students. And also at the end of the day, the student who learn the skills that we will need to create a platform for the alumni to share the skill and knowledge to their kids. So basically, I'm sharing, maybe we could put together into a booklet in the midst of doing the publication now, so we could share with all later on. So these are the last slides. Thank you.